everyone? Welcome to another edition of the Pro Wrestling Show. I'm your host as always, Kendra Dix here. Glad you're here. We are mere moments, mere days for you tasting that turkey, that dressing, that cranberry sauce, or whatever Thanksgiving tradition that you have. Thank you all for watching us here on the Pro Wrestling Show. Use that hashtag Pro Wrestling Show here on Connect TV. We are glad you're here. Let's get started. We got a lot of things to talk about. We talked about a little bit on the previous show about the Survivor Series fallout from the Survivor Series event, and thank you for watching that. But let's get to what happened throughout the week. Alright, let's get with the Raw Ring Report. In the Raw Ring Report, where we know Raw did a clean sweep at Survivor Series and management had to celebrate, where Baron Corbin, Stephanie McMahon was in the ring celebrating, gloating about the fact that Monday Night Raw dominated Raw at Survivor Series with the help of Braun Strowman, who came out. Braun Strowman felt that he was entitled and he was promised if he did all the things that Stephanie McMahon asked him to do, and he delivered on his end of the bargain, she had to come in with her end of the bargain. So Stephanie gave Braun, booked him in a match at TLC against Baron Corbin. That's one. So, the one thing about this match is Baron Corbin, since he did so well for Raw last night, he wanted to become the permanent general manager. I thought he was going to do so, but Stephanie told him, hey, if you can defeat Braun Strowman at TLC in a TLC match, you will become the new general manager of Raw officially. But on Braun Strowman's other side of the deal was that if he won, Baron Corbin would be finished. He would be removed of all authority in WWE, and he should be just an active wrestler. Plus, if Braun Strowman won, he will meet Brock Lesnar, the Universal Champion, at the Royal Rumble for the championship. So there's a lot of stakes out there for Brock and Braun. So who's going to be winning the high stakes in that match? Plus, in a huge 6-man elimination tag team match, Baron Corbin had to put the gun out there, so he booked himself against with Drew McIntyre and Bobby Lashley against Braun Strowman and Finn Balor and Elias, where Stephanie had to add that caveat. She didn't want it to be an uneven playing field. She wanted to make it a playing field, left and right. Neither man from Finn Balor got eliminated and Elias got eliminated. They left Braun, and the match ended in a complete draw, and Drew McIntyre stopped the match. Well, that didn't stop there. When Braun Strowman got brutally attacked by Baron Corbin, Bobby Lashley, and Drew McIntyre, eventually landing chair shots at Braun Strowman, causing him to have an elbow injury, and we'll get to that later on. But Braun Strowman had his elbow smashed through when the guys had put him through the chair. So, hey, Braun Strowman out for a couple weeks, but we'll have a little bit more further information later on the show with Hot Topics. Also, the women's division took center stage as Sasha Banks didn't forget what Nia Jax done to her at Survivor Series, costing her not to be a sole survivor as Nia did, and Nia won for Team Raw after defeating Asuka in the match at Survivor Series. So Sasha Banks teamed up with Bayley against Nia and her newfound friend Tamina, and you know the Nia and Tamina dominated and destroyed Bayley and Sasha Banks. They didn't even have a chance. And got them, you know, after Nia dropped Bayley on this down to the mat and got the 1-2-3. Plus, also women's division, Raw Women's Champion Ronda Rousey did not forget what had happened to her that previous night Survivor Series, when she got brutally attacked by Charlotte Flair, who they kind of made both of them look strong, but Ronda wanted to prove herself. Ronda wanted to put her championship on the line, and she did so at Mickie James. Mickie James wasn't a formidable match, but hey, they had to go with that. Mickie James was just, just a test dummy, I would say. But Mickey James, more credit to her. She's a future Hall of Famer, but she was just put there just to make Ronda look good. But speaking of that, Ronda Rousey was about to walk out until she encountered Nia Jax and Tamina and had like a standoff. You know, we know that in a couple of weeks at TLC, Ronda Rousey will defend her Raw Women's Championship against Nia Jax, but we don't know what it's gonna be. You know, during TLC they had to have one of these matches be a given match. So I'm giving that it's going to be a tables match between Nia Jax and Ronda Rousey, and don't be shocked and surprised that Ronda Rousey lose her title by getting dropped through a table. It can happen. I can tell you that it can happen. It can happen like that. So it's gonna be a table match. Mark my word. Mark my word. Also, Bobby Roode and Chad Gable pokes fun at Drake Maverick after Drake had a little incident that, you know, a lot of people are talking about, that he pissed on himself at the Royal Rumble not the Royal Rumble, but Survivor Series during the tag team champions squared off against each other from different brands. Well, Drake Maverick got mad and he went and told his boys, Authors of Pain, to destroy Roode and Gable, and they had a match, and it didn't turn out so well. Roode and Gable pinned the tag team champions and thus might earn them a slot in tag team contention down the road. So we'll see on that. Also, a grudge match between Natalya versus Ruby Riott. Ruby Riott has been a thorn in Natalya's side after she disrespected the honor, the legacy of Jindy Amber Nightheart, Natalya's father, broke his sunglasses and stuff, and Natalya wanted to gain her revenge, and she did so. She defeated Ruby Riott, and Ruby Riott was shocked and surprised that she lost with Natalya over an upset roll spin on inside cradle. So the guy, you got a little inch, a measure of revenge on there. But good for Natalya. And make sure to watch Total Divas this anytime this week to, you know, the season finale, I think, about Natalya and stuff, about her story, about how she found out her father had passed away. So the sad story, but you know, it's emotional. And then finally on the Raw Ring Report, Dean Ambrose was playing cat and mouse all through the night with Seth Rollins. Told Seth meet him backstage. He wasn't backstage. Told Seth he was here. He wasn't there until Dean Ambrose got in the ring himself, and we thought Seth Rollins left for the night because he was tired of playing the cat and mouse games. Seth Rollins came and tried to up the odds against Dean Ambrose. Couldn't do so, but Ambrose came out of nowhere and short shot him with a low blow and DDT'd him with the Dirty D's, leaving Seth out. But we now know that they will have a match at TLC and for the Intercontinental Championship. We don't know what type of match this is going to be. I'm thinking it's going to be a chairs match at TLC between these two men, because you know they can just annihilate each other with chairs, and it'll be for the Intercontinental Championship. So hey, we'll see when that goes. That ends the Raw Ring Report. Let's move over to the SmackDown Ring Report. Alright, the SmackDown Ring Report. Charlotte Flair walks to the ring and says that she's not finished with Ronda Rousey, which she started with her at Survivor Series. Remember I told you earlier on the Raw Report, Ronda Rousey was kind of livid and mad and upset, but she took a fight off on somebody else. Charlotte did the same way. She was aggressive. She said it's not over with. So she's so obsessed with Ronda Rousey, you know, she had to take her frustration out, and she did so against the Iconics. She took her frustration out on Billie Kay and Peyton Royce one by one in the match, and then she didn't do what she could do. So, you know, she's kind of in that zone now that she wants to get her hands on Ronda, and that's hopeless. She could do so one day with Ronda. Alright, move over to there, where The Miz welcomed Commissioner Shane McMahon to Miz TV and talked about the state of SmackDown address, where Shane McMahon acknowledged that SmackDown needs a lot of work to do to get in order back of Raw. But Miz tried to butt up to Shane McMahon. A lot of people saying trying to be a yes man, and Miz asked Shane McMahon to tag with him in a tag team match against two jobbers, and they was battling out until Miz lost the match, not staying focused. So with a schoolboy roll up while Shane McMahon staying in the ring. Now this could be a telling that it's gonna be Shane McMahon gonna have his next match against Miz. That's kind of what they're going with. You know, Miz down the road is gonna turn on him somehow, some way. Also, the New Day celebrates Thanksgiving in Thanksgiving fashion, saying they are thankful for. Well, the bar came out. The bar said they wanted to stop with all this nonsense and just come on with the fight. Well, they did, but things just didn't seem so well. But with the bar, where the Big Show got smashed through a table for with all Thanksgiving food covered on him, Sheamus got driven through a table, and he with Thanksgiving food, and the only one left was Cesaro, and Cesaro got defeated by the New Day, and they just took it light and they made fun of him and just threw food at him, threw mashed potatoes, cranberries, you name it, any type of Thanksgiving food at him. Just Cesaro fell flat down. So the New Day getting their revenge on the bar. So let's hope. Let's see how that goes. And you know they're gonna have a match at TLC. I can tell. I can tell they're gonna have a match. And then finally, not finally, but Daniel Bryan, the new WWE champion, appeared on SmackDown to explain his actions on why he did what he did. Daniel Bryan elaborated that he gave up on himself because of his retirement. You know, he was tired of being stuck in the chambers and stuff and not seeing he was going to doctor and doctor. We've heard that story before with Daniel Bryan, and they told him yes, but Daniel Bryan saying he had a twisted mind that need to be unleashed, and he did so by elaborating why he did what he did. And he said he is the new Daniel Bryan, and then he said the yes movement is dead. So there is no yes movement in WWE no more for the fans that believe in Daniel Bryan. Daniel Bryan turned his back on the fans. So we'll see with this Intel Gold store, even that interesting piece they did with WWE with AJ Styles, where AJ Styles had a 360 role when he was champion for a full year, and he lost to Bryan last week. So now they are saying that Daniel Bryan versus AJ Styles for the WWE Championship, where AJ Styles will get his rematch clause. But I believe it's going to be a ladder match between these two, just to fight out. And Daniel Bryan with his new sense of attitude and newfound sense of just determination than ever before, with him being having the world title for the 5th time. So it's kind of different. Speaking of that, finally on the SmackDown report, Randy Orton versus Rey Mysterio, a rivalry renewed for so long. I remember when I was in high school watching this match, and given my age, I hope not, but I remember 12 years ago when Randy Orton and Rey Mysterio, Randy Orton was in his prime, Rey Mysterio was in his prime. They're both in their prime now, but Rey Mysterio on that time was on the verge of becoming the world's champion for the first time. And just saw sudden things happen when things come back around again. This time it's no different. Randy and Rey Mysterio had a great match in this dust with SmackDown. Rey Mysterio talked about earlier on SmackDown that he's aware of Randy Orton, what Randy Orton can do, because he's been there, and how the torturement of Randy Orton, the hurt, the pain, the destruction of Randy Orton, like to flick upon his opponents. Well, Randy Orton did so in a cruel, mean fashion, where he took the mask off of Rey Mysterio and left Rey in a bloody mess without his mask, but he was covered. So Randy Orton has hostage of the sacred thing that Rey Mysterio loves. That mask. That mask represents tradition, represents respect, represents honor, and Rey Mysterio could get another mask, but Randy Orton taking that mask away from Rey Mysterio like that, that's like demasking him and stuff. So I hope Rey Mysterio get his revenge. Randy Orton just a sick, disgusting human being, and let's just hope Randy Orton gets what he coming to him with the hands of Rey Mysterio for doing it. Alright, when we return, we'll have more pro wrestling show. We're going to get to hot topics. You don't want to go nowhere, stay tuned. To the Pro Wrestling Show. I'm your host as always, Kendrick Dix. Glad you're here to join us. Use that hashtag Pro Wrestling Show here on Connect TV. Let's get to the leap and bounds of hot topics. Alright, and the hot topics this week, we heard that now Impact Wrestling, we used to have Impact Report, but it's kind of like since they move out of their primetime slot, it's no use. But when we still talk about it every now and then if it's something momentum. But this was going to be momentum, was they're having their homecoming event soon, and Impact wants to, they're looking for a new TV partner. Well, they still with Pop, but they won't be with Pop till after 2019, till after 2018, but they have renewed it for extension throughout 2019 to find a new TV home. Where the networks that is in talk right now is Sci-Fi Network, True TV, and WGN. Now I can see now with Sci-Fi Network that's not going to happen because NBC owns Sci-Fi Network, which in conjunction with USA Network. So that's not going to happen because WWE ain't going to want to be partnering side with somebody else close to them. That close to them in the network. Now when they was on SmackDown, that's SmackDown Raw on the same umbrella with WWE. But on the two different wrestling companies, I don't see it. They even said USA Network was all interested in the other day Meltzer said interested in bringing Impact. I don't see that happening. So that's not a go. True TV, that could be interesting, but the thing is about that is True TV was under the subsidiary parent company of Time Warner, who had WCW, and they didn't want WCW no more. So it's kind of like if you get in bed with them, if they're gonna put their end of the bargain or what's going on. And the only thing left is WGN America. Now I can see them going WGN America. I can see that. Now I hope they can go with that deal because I see that WGN America did the ring, they all in special for them during their time slot, and then they did the Wrestling Warriors or something like that. I see that. I can see that, but then I don't know because they Wrestling Ring Warrior, they moved out because they was on Pop, and then they knew Impact was coming, so they moved out. So it's kind of shitty for Impact right now on what's going on. They got great talent. It's just the networks now. If you can't compete with these networks, go on Disney. Go on your Twitch channel. That's the only thing I can say for them to go Impact on Twitch. Alright. Let's hope Impact finds the deal soon and we'll report it when it comes. Alright, also, Jay Lethal re-signs with Ring of Honor. It was rumored that Jay Lethal might leave Ring of Honor because he was working without a contract, but he has re-signed with Ring of Honor. The world champions will stay here. He is the franchise of Ring of Honor, So, good for Jay Lethal. If he maybe one day want to go to WWE, if he's not, he's content with that, that's fine. He'll be like this versions of Sting. Never went to WWE, never to step foot. Alright, speaking of stepping foot in WWE, there are rumors reportedly that Trevor Lee finished with Impact during the TV tapings, may be heading to WWE for his recruitment class for the beginning of next year. And in addition to that, also is Shane Swerve Strickland Shane Strickland could also appear after he's been around the independent scene with the MLW as well. But him and MLW is not getting along. MLW is trying to portray him like he's not showing up on time, not doing this, not doing that. So it's a possibility he might depart there and go to WWE and join that performance center. And another name is Silas Young from Ring of Honor. That he could be landing in WWE. So it's in another thing. ACH, he might be coming. So it's another thing, like, we will see. But if this rumor is true, I'm not shocked nor surprised, because all these guys they're talented. Shane Squirrel Strickland, he's more like a hybrid cruiserweight type wrestler. He moves like a cruiserweight. Silas Young moves like a brawler. He's a brawler type fool. Trevor Lee moves like a hybrid cruiserweight technical wrestler. ACH moves like a cruiserweight. So I wouldn't be shocked or surprised if this recruitment class come into fruition. So we'll see about that. Also, good old JR, look at this, suffered a nasty fall. Yeah, you can tell he had black eye. He's been suffering that for weeks. After weeks been speculating that he might be done and finished with WWE beginning near next year, and as well as New Japan. So we don't know what's next for JR. We wish him the best. We look him up. Also, Booker T talked on his podcast about he doesn't remember a feud with The Rock. Are you kidding me? You came in WWE and you don't remember that? Booker T said it's just his memory comes in and out like that. Man, you need that soon, man. Alright, we talked about it recently about WWE confirming Braun Strowman's elbow surgery. He had to go underwent elbow surgery, so it's unclear the Monster Man will show up at TLC. I'm hoping he will. So I think so. So get some rest and take some time off the road. Also, Enzo Amore made a cameo appearance at